Hey everyone, this is Simon here again with another video series about Bitcoin. So, in this video series, I would like to talk about the current scaling issue in Bitcoin. That is the I guess that is the only issue that is there in Bitcoin. And once this issue is resolved, and once this is resolved, then there is no Bitcoin will be just cruising, will be cruising. Uh, it would be unstoppable. Even in one of the videos, probably you can search in YouTube or something, like even the same exact caption. There is a video uh, from the Microsoft founder, the billionaire, no, the just person, Bill Gates. He was saying that Bitcoin is unstoppable, and there's a video with the exact same caption. So you can search Bitcoin is unstoppable Bill Gates, and you will find that video. So Bitcoin is unstoppable. Yes, the scaling issue is still there, but there are ways to get around, and we would definitely get around. Just a quick recap before we get into the scaling issue. So, uh, about the Bitcoin ecosystem. So when you send a Bitcoin to person B, that's when a transaction gets kicked in, and your transaction gets collected into a mempool the same second or the same minute that you are making a transaction. When you are sending a Bitcoin, the same minute or same second, there is several thousands of other transactions which are getting entering into the mempool. uh, and the other role, primary role in this Bitcoin ecosystem are the miners. So the miners are the one who run a complex software uh, to prove that to the Bitcoin network that they are securing their network, that they are keeping the network secure, and they are processing the transactions, and they are keeping the Bitcoin network alive. So they solve a complex puzzle, and the miners, one of the miners every 10 minutes gets a chance to find the new block and adds that new block to the blockchain, and return gets a block reward. And currently the block reward is 12.5 bitcoins, and this gets reduced half-ins every 4 years. So in June 2020, you can see that the Bitcoin block reward will be around 6 bitcoins. So apart from the block reward, the miner also collects the transaction fees. um, and currently, on an average, a Bitcoin transaction gets confirmed in 30 minutes to about an hour, and sometimes it gets delayed more as well. This has been one of the complaints from the Bitcoin users community, that it's taking a lot of time for the transaction to get confirmed, and that's because of the scaling issue. So Bitcoin currently is not much scalable. The size of the block in the blockchain is 1 megabyte, and that 1 megabyte block can only hold about a max of 1,000 transactions. So every 10 minutes, only 1,000 transactions get processed. So you know that it's just the starting of Bitcoin, and once Bitcoin adoption increases, this is going to be a very big headache for Bitcoin. And with this current block size, or with this current setup, it's going to take even longer time when Bitcoin gets more wider adoption. It might take even 1 day for a Bitcoin transaction to get confirmed. Uh, and then what's the purpose? Like bank transaction also nowadays is taking an international transfer, gets confirmed within a day or two. Uh, so this issue has to be addressed. Definitely has to be addressed. So as you see, like The miners and the users are the two important roles in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And also I would like to talk about the third role, which are the developers. They also play a very important role. They are the people who wear the mask of Satoshi Nakamoto, the person who developed, came up with this Bitcoin. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is a software, guys. It's a digital currency. It's run by a software. So the developers obviously would play a role. And out of so what you see here is a kind of a triangle. The users, the Bitcoin miners, and the developers taking their place. The miners and the developers play a very, very important role in securing the network, in keeping the Bitcoin network secure without any hacks, without any attacks. There are several types of attacks that are possible in the Bitcoin network. The most common thing that you will hear about is the replay attack, where a person tries to, say a person A is having zero point 0.5 Bitcoin, and he can try to send the same 0.5 Bitcoin to two different people at the same time, replaying his transaction. So that is possible, but those kinds of attacks not possible in Bitcoin, because it is a very, very secure system. That's what makes it the more popular digital currency. There are several altcoins, shit coins, that are available now. As I told you, there are about 800 odd altcoins, but not every coin is as secure as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only true digital currency, and it would be so currently. The Bitcoin dominance, if you see in any website like Coinmarketcap or something like that, it's slowly increasing. There was once upon a time there, no, a month back or so, it was just 30 to 35%. Now it's slowly increasing towards 50%, and I'm sure like it would definitely touch 80-90% soon. And that would be the death of all coins. Anyway, I'm digressing. So with everybody accepts, all three, the users, the developers, and the miners accept, they do accept that the scaling is a big issue in front of Bitcoin adoption, and it's an obstacle. And everybody has their own plan. So currently, segwit, segregated witness, is a solution that all three have kind of zeroed in. Segregated witness is something like, you know the block size would still be the same, 1 MB, but the transaction size would be much smaller, trimmed. Only the key information that needs to be inside the block is going to enter the block, whereas the other non-key information of the transaction is going to be saved in a sidechain. So it's kind of a sidechain solution. um, the true advocates of Bitcoin are kind of not okay with the solution. They are saying like there shouldn't be any sidechain. Anything that is happening should be within the Bitcoin blockchain. So the true Bitcoin advocates are not able to digest that. Craig White, who's one of the Bitcoin developers, who even there was a kind of uh, you know he said once like, I am Satoshi Nakamoto. So that kind of created kind of a flutter in the social media. So he came out and said, I am Satoshi Nakamoto, and I do not accept segwit. It's not any data that gets stored outside the blockchain, any off-chain solution. I cannot accept it. So everybody hence has a saying, you know so the users and the developers, while they say okay, we do accept segwit, and let's go with that. So more number of transactions. If it's today, one megabyte block can hold 1,000 transactions. After segwit's adoption, it can hold 2,000 2,500 transactions, or maybe 3,000 transactions, who knows. And so that means more number of transactions, and more number of transactions accommodating inside a block means more transactions getting processed. So that will resolve the scaling issue. Whereas the miners some of the miners say, no, we do not want segwit, we just want to increase the block size, and it shouldn't be any fixed value. As and when the Bitcoin adoption increases, like, we should be keep on changing the size of the block. So currently they are proposing the block size to be increased to 2 megabytes, and uh, and that's what they are proposing. uh, so so we have in one corner the developers, the Bitcoin core development team, and the users um, who are behind segwit, and the miners who are behind uh, the unlimited expansion of the block, 2 MB block. So that's when a Bitcoin investor by name Barry Silbert, he wanted to bring a consensus. He wanted to resolve the solution. So he arranged for a conference in New York where a lot of miners attended. And at the end of the conference, 80 to 90% of the miners, they signed something called as NYA, New York Agreement. And what they agreed upon is, okay, as long as you accept that you will increase the block size to 2 MB, we give an okay signal for segwit. Okay, so we just come down an inch below our demand. If the developers and the users community want segwit, so be it. We will also agree for segwit, but at the same time we do not come down from our demand for 2 megabyte block size or the scalable Bitcoin blockchain. So Barry Silbert kind of was happy that at least they finally agreed for segwit. So now the proposal is to have segwit plus 2 megabyte blockchain. So, but the Bitcoin core development team are not fine with that plan. So now we are in a catch-22 situation. There's so much confusion revolving around this, and that's why you don't see any growth in the Bitcoin value for the past 1 month. So this issue has been happening for the past 1 month. Bitcoin touched 3,000 USD about a month back, and that's when all these news about the tussle or the fight between the Bitcoin core development team and the miners community started to float in the social media. And since then, a panic button has been set in, and people have started to sell their Bitcoins. They started to panic, and there is more sell than there is compared to the buy and hold. So people have decided, okay, this is going to be a bit death of Bitcoin, or two different blockchains. I don't know what will happen to the value of my Bitcoin, whether my Bitcoin get lost, all those kind of fear. So one of the Bitcoin evangelist, Adam Meister, you can follow his channel, calls it as FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So there are a lot of people spreading this FUD that is causing people to panic and sell their Bitcoin holdings. because of this situation where we do not have a single agreement between the miners and the Bitcoin development community. So now we have two things: the developers and the users have a soft fork proposal, UASF, user activated soft fork, UASF, Bitcoin improvement proposal, BIP 148. So that is kicking in on 1st of August, whereas the miners are going to finalize on segwit on August 21st. I'm sorry, July 21st. By July 26th, they would be locking up segwit. So in this scenario, so we have two things: segwit 2x and BIP 141. These are the two things that are available now. I will talk about in my next video about what are the different scenarios are possible in this with this segwit 2x and BIP 148, the important dates and what are the different scenarios possible. Yeah, I'll meet you all in my next video, and thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe to this channel. Please pound that like button. Please you can feel free to share this video among your friends and spread the Bitcoin awareness. And all I want to say is there is no don't panic, don't sell your Bitcoin holdings. There is going to be one stronger Bitcoin sooner. Everything will get over by the end of this year, and starting of 2018 is going to see a more scalable, one stronger Bitcoin cruising ahead. So just don't panic and don't sell your Bitcoin holdings. That's what I can say. And as I always conclude, hey, there's going to be only 21 million of Bitcoin that is ever going to come into existence, the true digital currency, decentralized currency, world currency, which will have worldwide adoption. No country, no nation can claim ownership. Nobody can print money, bring new money into existence just like that. And everything, any decision that gets taken in the Bitcoin community has to be taken through consensus. 90% consensus should be there. So thanks again for watching this video. If you like this video and if you want to see more, and if you want me to create more videos for spreading Bitcoin awareness, please support me in this initiative. And if you would like, I would request you to donate for the growth of this channel. Donate some Bitcoins, 1,000 satoshis or whatever which you can afford to. Few satoshis that you can just spend for the growth of this channel. Thank you. And just I want to conclude saying that's going to be only 21 million. Let's all get a piece of it. Thank you all. Bye bye.